Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with, as always? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 224. Welcome to the Department of Frozen Transactions, everybody. Step up to the slush fund machines. We've got Blue Razz Bailout, Crony Grape, Lobby Lime, Pardon Punch, and Black Budget Berry. Welcome, motherfuckers.
It's a lot of flavors.
I decided to do that as you were counting me down to start after I was like looking at, because we titled the pod Blue Razz Slush Fund. I gave chat my initial pump up, like, hey, these are the stakes. This is how I need you to perform. And then I go, and the concept? Play on Blue Razz Slushy and a corrupt government funded or government established slush fund. And then it gave me a giant slushy that said Big Razz Slush Fund on it. And I said, okay, just give me a caricature of Donald Trump at a slushy machine, but it's a slush fund machine. And then that's how I got here.
Huh. Great use of the entire state of Kentucky's power grid to make,
I mean, I tried to give chat, some freedom and just see what it would come up with. But I really had to just tell it,
Yeah. You got to reel it in. Skynet. Yeah. It's not there yet. One day. Yeah, it's really good. This is a good one. I was like, oh, tight.
The cover art?
Yeah. But that's always pretty good. Most of the time you're coming up with some pretty good stuff. There was a time where it was just like me, anime, me and you doing different things, which those were cool. But in the anime version, I end up looking like Brock from fucking Pokemon. So I'm just like, bruh.
Yeah, and they're all coming from an original, and then it goes into like you're fighting Kalu, and then you're fighting Teddy Roosevelt. But I'm doing like the iteration off the iteration off the iteration, and so it's like we're like 6 Josephs like down the road.
I want to
anime
see
Josephs.
An AI me boxing like David Duke or something. Or me and you, us battling Robot Hitler.
Oh, as the cover art. Yeah. You just want me to create this image for you. I'm like, you could do it yourself.
Me and you battling Robot Hitler at the center of the earth. That needs to be the next one.
Robot Hitler?
Yeah.
Is he like
at this point, where Hitler would be a robot if he lived in the center of the earth and was hiding where like the dinosaurs are and shit like that.
Is he a 30s, 40s robot or like German robot?
Probably updated at this point.
Like Volkswagen make him?
Probably more like Futurama, where he's like a head in a jar, and then he's like, But
that's some Walt Disney type shit. Joseph was before he was a host, in the very early days. He was a guest, and you said one of the funniest things ever I heard on the podcast. It was like episode 5. You're just like talking about something, and then you're like, yeah, and he's probably like over there with Walt Disney's head, power smoking cigarettes, and just like, and like without hesitation. And I was just like, I'm like, the idea of Walt Disney's head still power smoking cigarettes while it's chronologically frozen is just famous.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Speaking of Nazis.
And that's why DeSantis is always battling with Disney, is because he knows he's up against the frozen head, the semi-frozen at this point. I mean, they're talking about unthawing some of these. I don't know. They're talking about unthawing some of these motherfuckers.
Okay, so like, let me ask you this.
That's crazy. We might be alive for when they unthaw them. We might have a real Austin Powers moment. Just with like
right as you said that, I just thought of this.
Semitic chain smoker.
What if I want to wait? It's like I get that you can bring me back right now, but this is iPhone 2. Maybe I want to wait Because I'm chilling, right? I'm chilling in the jar with the motherfucking Winstons, and
I got cartons, dude. I'm
you want to be
vibing.
you want to be the first one back?
I wonder if
Wait,
there's
maybe
like protocol where they like unthaw you to check and be like, "You good?" But like the people they'd bring back, like it's I
nobody checked. Nobody checked.
imagine the shock that some of these people. Walt Disney does get unthawed. He
Holy
would be his world would be upside down. The United States government is like supporting Israel in a war against Palestine. He'd be freaking out.
I think he felt pretty comfortable at a MAGA rally, dude.
Yes, but he would be one of the ones that's turning on MAGA because MAGA is pro-Israel. So that goes against everything. He would be an anti-Israel person. There's no way that
I
Walt
think he would.
Disney,
No. I think he'd be in jail, dude. Like
yeah,
this dude. Yeah,
or the
come on.
Mossad would be like looking for him, Interpol, something. He'd be in a lot of trouble if he had lived until this point. So if you unthaw this man now, like he's gonna
When
be
I
like
say when I
alt
say
right, like super alt right.
when I say be in jail, I don't mean like on some
He'd be a
like master.
groiper.
I don't mean like Masters of the Universe like illegal shit because he's Walt Disney. I mean like it's just because he's like a fucking anti-Semitic racist from the 30s and doesn't know how to behave in 2026. He's probably just gonna get arrested on some dumb shit real quick. Like I didn't
No,
even think about
probably.
that.
But yeah, he'd come back. It'd be his whole world would be thrown upside down.
Yeah, every one of these people is like I didn't think about that. Like you're just gonna
He'd
you think
come
you're gonna
back. We're like,
like
what?
you're the shit Walt Disney like back in the day, but like you're gonna
He'd
show
be
up 2 years
rich, but
later.
he'd be like, dude, you suck. We would all hate him like we hate Papa John or something. We'd be like, fuck this
Well,
guy.
who even gives a shit about what we think of Walt Disney?
He
I'm just
would
saying
be
that.
like Papa John. He would lose Disney, like saying the N word, and then be in an HR meeting using the N word, defending use of
He
the
doesn't.
N word.
He already lost Disney, dude. It's a publicly traded company, but uh,
He'd still
no.
be he'd have
My
bank.
point is like personally, take Disney out of here. Like just whoever you are showing up, you know, a centennial later, and thinking that you're gonna just like adjust. It's like I did, like, like they gave me antidepressants
No,
like in
no,
this
but this is
life.
what I'm saying is he would come back and he wouldn't have to adjust that much because it is 2026. So there would be a pocket of people who
You're
still have
saying the pendulum is swung back enough to where
no,
he'd feel
it's
comfortable?
just that the pendulum is swung enough, but that is swung and kind of frozen where everybody, any type of person can exist and you can find that group for yourself. So he
Yeah.
would find people that would support his ideas. And they'd be
So
like,
he
yeah, Walt, you're like,
and
we
then
get it.
like
So he really wouldn't, he would just come back and he'd find an echo chamber in a way that he'd never found one before. And there'd be
uh,
people to revalidate his thoughts. And he would become a public figure right off the bat. Right off the bat. Walt
what do
Disney
you
would
mean
be like,
become one? He is one.
well, I know, but I'm saying like it, but he would be like right, like he'd become one because it never existed for him.
So like was
Everything
he
he did
like
was curated.
writing bars? Like did he like write Snow White or like is he just like the dude like hiring the people?
I think he's just the dude like hiring the people. I don't think he wrote shit.
So what do we need him like? Why is his head
He's
frozen,
just
dude?
like because
Like he did some shit.
he's like on some Mad Men shit. Like he's on some shit before Mad Men.
I guess you're right.
They're
Like
like, oh, this black guy must
anybody
be.
can frozen.
What are you doing this close to the burbs? You must work at the docks. Like the people used to say stuff like that. Walt Disney used to just say that, like walking out of an Eckerd's. He would just say like, "Oh, look, there's that black dock worker. He's probably smoking jazz cigarettes." Like people used to say shit like that, and then he'd
Why,
walk
why you look
off.
at me? Why you look at me when you say that?
I'm just saying, you know. No, but I'm just saying, like, so he would come back and he would find an echo chamber that would suit him in a way that wouldn't be terrible. Like there'd be people to revalidate it.
So you think he'd be
He'd
able
be
to
a bit
cope?
of a social pariah. He'd be like the guy who did Dilbert, who was like ended up being like
Well,
super
see
mega
that the reason why I
racist.
was asking if he was like an artist was like like what you put out another hit, or you could do what Drake did and just drop three of the worst albums I've ever heard. I listened to every
He
single song.
he would be like a Elon Musk. He's like the Elon Musk of his time, Walt Disney. Is like
No, he's not.
no, in the sense of being like an entrepreneur, amassing great wealth
Right.
over a
There was
short
there
period
was
of time.
there was
So
a
I'm
bunch
just,
of other dudes who were way more like Elon Musk than him at his in his time.
but he was like the way he was a public figure and used his position of power to really like put himself out there. I'm just saying they have more similarities than they have like,
Mostly the Nazi sleuths.
well, that as well. I mean, I was even getting to that. Just in like being like money hungry, powerful, shitty
I mean,
dudes.
dude, just name a fucking billionaire.
No, there was a bunch of them, but Walt Disney was super public. You wouldn't see like the guy. You wouldn't see like the people. What's the name? Like the people who own like Standard Oil and shit. Like out there, there was a lot of rich assholes who were behind the scenes. I think that it was much more appealing and appropriate and commonplace to be extremely wealthy, but be very closed off and reserved for the most part. But Walt Disney was like, hey, this is me. Let's talk about my cartoons. Hey, I'm Walt Disney. I'm building a fucking fantasy land for your whole family to come and hang out at. Like, he was doing all of the shit. So he was like a mogul. He was like a mogul and a public figure at the same
Imagine
time.
the big dick energy it takes to be the first dude, just to be like pitching cartoons on a global scale.
Hey, I'm going to take these slave stories and turn them into cartoons. And that'll be like my first go around, Uncle Remus. It'll be great. Like, yeah, that's great. Stupid.
See?
I've brought it up before, but I'll never forget it. And it's an Uncle Remus story. Because if you go read the old Uncle Remus stories,
What's Uncle Remus?
Uncle Remus is like basically this old slave who lived on a plantation and would tell these stories to all the children that lived on the plantation. White kids, black kids, he would just tell these stories, these tall tales. So like Briar Fox, Briar Rabbit, all of these tales and stories are all ancient, or not ancient, I mean that's a little dramatic, but they're old slave like tall tales basically, like Paul Bunyan type shit. Um and Briar Fox, Briar Rabbit is really fucked up because there's all these different stories. They don't like each other. But then there's the story talked about it before, where it's Briar Fox is trying to catch Briar Rabbit, and so he finds a bunch of tar and makes a man, like a mannequin person, out of tar, puts clothes on it, leaves it on the side of the road. This rabbit comes by and it starts calling it a tar baby, and it's insane, gets mad that it won't reply to him, so it goes to beat him up. It goes to beat up this person that's
Or
made,
baby?
yeah, made to look like a black person made out of tar. He gets trapped in it because it's tangles him up, and then Briar Fox chucks his ass into the briar patch. That's pretty much the story. And then he escapes because the rabbits, he's like, oh, I'll get rid of him for good and I'll throw him in there. But he doesn't. The rabbit perseveres and escapes because it's from the briar patch, so it can escape easily and escapes unharmed. Basically, that's the story. And it's the most racist thing. I remember them telling us that in school, and I was like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we reading right now? But, and he's like yelling at it. They call this mannequin. But yeah, so basically, there's weird
I've got
stories
a
like that are the basis of his original cartoons. Those are like the ones that like were before any of the other Disney cartoons we think of. There was the original ones were like cartoon renditions of these old slave tales.
and just for the record, I pointed out that Drake put out 3 albums, and Joseph would not even acknowledge that I said it, and would rather tell you an old slave tale about a tar baby
You asked who Uncle Remus was.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Who cares
I just
about
wanted.
Drake, dude? Drake
That's,
sucks.
that's what that was
What
my
is there to
point.
talk about? He's a wiener. Whole thing's just wieners. He's just a wiener. I'm gonna put lights and make it look like I'm freezing the tower. Like it's
What?
weird. You didn't see that he did that. He did all these different things, and he froze his seats at the Raptors game. Like, oh, they're on ice.
Oh,
So
because he's the Iceman.
because he's the ice man. Get the fuck out of here, dude. First of all, that picture of his glove, his little
That was
sparkly glove,
terrible.
is like a white power symbol. So he's got like some white power symbol up there, dead ass. I don't think he
He's from
means it that
Canada,
way, but
dude.
it's just true. the whole thing's just dumb. He's at this point in his career where he should probably just chill out. He's made a shit ton of money. Everybody kind of goes
Wait,
through
wait,
this.
wait, 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 wait. You don't think dropping three albums on the same day is chilling out?
No, I think it's
Because
like
I do, I do.
grasping at straws, dude. Trying to see like which one of my fandoms like is gonna enjoy my shit because I've been dropping doo doo. Because look, so he did his old Tropical Club, Zara buying a T-shirt album for the girls. He's like, girl, you know,
They
all
all
that
work
stuff.
like that. What do you
No, but
mean?
not all. But then he has Iceman where he's trying to be like, yeah, I'm hard as fuck. I'm
You're like
talking shit.
one song.
So what I'm saying is he's tried to do three different albums or three different sounds, but they're all kind of the same. It's all
Yeah.
kind of bullshit. He's trying to get one of his groups because lately if he'll drop something and someone's like, oh, we don't like that, it's not hard enough, then the girls are like, oh, this is great, I love this song. So there's always been like something for somebody, and now it's just like just doo doo. I think he lost like 80% of his streams and plays in the first 24 hours of it coming out, so it just like plummeted.
You got one each song from me, and none of them did I complete. I was waiting for something, just anything that sounded like you know what it felt like? It felt like that, like I was like in the studio, like on a computer, and like it was like the folder of like a song, and it was like all like the different time like recordings they had of it, like that they were like the versions of the same song. That's what going through his three albums sounded like. Like I started to get PTSD, like hearing him come in with like his like auto-tune voice, like on some soft ass beat, like to start it off. Just like what? Switch it up.
Yeah, pretty lame, pretty stupid, pretty doo doo. But I'm that's to be expected.
No, it's not to be expected. To be honest, like
I've never been
I
that big of a Drake fan, so
that's
this is
fine.
just
That's
like
fine. No, that's fine. But
kind of
like my
poetic justice.
well, the way I see it is like I'm not a Drake fan either, but
Sounds like it.
I respect
Sound like a little
that.
Canadian bitch, dude.
Dude, are you
Probably like
fucking kidding
Sidney
me?
Crosby too. You're like, oh, Sidney Crosby's great because you love Canada. Oh, Canada, dude.
I actually like
Trudeau, dude.
despise Sidney Crosby, and I don't even like know why, but I just have a deep anger towards him.
Okay,
So
yeah, I respect you for that.
I think it's because he's a penguin and I'm
Yeah,
a
I fucking hate the
Flyers.
Penguins. Hate the Penguins. I don't know why I don't like the Penguins either. They've
I
had
do.
some people that are pretty badass, and I'm just like, nah, man, fuck the Penguins.
Who? Mario Lemieux?
Yeah,
Get his
Marlon,
ass back on the Nintendo.
he was good. He was cold on Wayne Gretzky's hockey too. But I would always
Why?
play as
Cause
the
why? Cause it's
Stars.
ice hockey.
Stars, because you had Medano. I know he always said his name wrong. Medano. I was like, yes, great.
You talking about NHL '96?
No, no, Wayne Gretzky's hockey on Nintendo
Uh,
64. That was cold.
'96 was better, but okay.
Well, yeah, it was like more arcade style.
I'm not sure. I played both because my buddy Adam had the Wayne Gretzky one, but NHL '95 is what they're playing in Swingers, like in the beginning when they're like in the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like doing like the wraparound goals and they're like fighting. That it looks. That's what NHL '96 basically looks like.
Okay.
That was like my yeah one of the first and favorite games. Would you like to get into therapy questions? How was your week?
Pretty chill, man. It's finally started raining. On some old man shit. I've been trying to go grow grass. So nah, man, because like I've shown you like pictures and stuff where it's like I scraped my whole backyard. So it's just a big patch of fucking dirt, and I've got all this raging grass back there. It's actually pretty awesome, and my front's starting to get grass too, so it's looking like a yard. So earning more respect by all the old guys on the street. Getting the thumbs up, getting lots of waves. I got lots of
or
waves
or
now.
or more stress because now they gotta go do shit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
So
I can see there's some
I,
people being like,
I
"Hey, whoa, what's this kid doing? Who's this new cat crushing
I
it?"
saw this video and this guy just mowed his lawn and he put like I forget if this the guy put in maybe not the waves, but he put in like the where it's like two different
Yeah, yeah, you cut it too.
right,
Yeah,
right. And then right when he's done, he sees his neighbor out there mowing. So then now he's like, "Oh, really?" And then he's like watching him the whole time. And then he decides he's gonna go back and do another round just to flex on him. And I thought of you, and I was like, "Wow,
Well, I'm just trying to get it to grow. So like my front yard has a huge fuck off pecan tree, and it like was like touching the ground in some spots. Some of the branches were
the tree
crazy.
was touching the ground."
Yeah, like some of the branches were.
Oh, I thought I was
It
like, "Isn't that where the
it
tree
like
lives, bro?"
it like grown. It like had shelled over so far that it was like touching the ground. The end of these branches. So when I cleaned it up, there was nothing growing underneath it. Like it was just dirt because it was all the sun was blocked. It was covered 24/7. So it's like a year later, and I've just been kind of labbing, you know what I'm saying, doing some stuff, trying to get it in better shape. And then I just threw down a shit ton of seed and it exploded. So it's actually tight because it's like filling the fuck up. Now, I did see some wild shit, and I'll send you a video. Then we can get in therapy questions. So I don't use pesticides. I think that's fucked. Let them be. If you're a spider and you're in the house, it's on. If you're a spider and you're outside, like, I'm leaving you the fuck alone. And there is crazy shit in my yard because I built all these beds out of mulch and leaves and all this like natural organic shit. So I can basically dig a hole, stick something in the ground, and it explodes. It's awesome. Um, but since I don't use
Wait, what?
pests, so the way I built these massive flower beds. I built two around both, one around each of my trees, a bunch in my backyard, and then this big one that wraps around the front. But rather than like putting down plastic and doing all of that, when I cut down all these trees, I mulched everything, and I made the beds out of the mulch, and I put a bunch of leaves in it, sticks. It's just like raised up dirt that's like this high, and it runs all the way around. So now when I plant, like I planted a sage bush, I just dug a hole, stuck it in there, reburied it, and it's fine. Like it's the way I've built the beds is they kind of like are self-watering. They retain water really well. It's just a way of gardening, but it creates
Oh
tons.
my God, this
Hold on,
guy.
it just creates tons of bugs. So there's tons of bugs, right? All sorts of shit. So the other day I'm watering my grass
What?
like
So I wouldn't want that. Like bugs, like they're bugging you.
no, they're outside. So like everything has a place to live, basically. So the best way to describe it is each bed that I've built is like its own little universe. So it's got like everything that you could think, but it all stays outside. So it's not
What else
trying
you
to.
go? What else you going in that garden talking about? Like little universes like that, dog.
Right now there's just some basil, some
Mmm.
sage, couple flowers, there's some peppers,
Little
tomatoes.
wacky tobacco.
No, dude. Yeah, right. That's crazy. I am. I think I'm one of like two black dudes on my street. But no.
What does that even mean?
Because dude, I can't be growing weed in my front yard. You're crazy. But I'm out there watering my yard, and so I get like tarantulas and shit. Like there's crazy ass spiders,
That
crazy
live in your garden?
that live in out here. Yeah, like out in
Okay,
like
but
the
you said
yard.
everything has a home.
It does. So they live in burrows. So in my flower beds around my trees, some of them have dug burrows.
Tarantulas.
Yeah, tarantulas. So
What?
I'll send you the video. I have a video.
No.
No, hold on. This is crazy because like fuck spiders. I don't fuck with
Yeah.
tarantulas. They're huge.
Yeah.
So listen to this. I'm watering my front yard. I look and I see something dragging something across my yard, and I'm like, what is that? And I get a little bit closer, and it's going across the bed in like underneath one of my trees. I get close and I look. So, do you know what a tarantula hawk is?
No.
It's a giant wasp, huge wasp, and what they do is they sting tarantulas, they paralyze them, they take them to their burrows, their homes in the ground, they feed them to their kids, and they plant an egg inside the tarantula, and another tarantula hawk is born from inside this alive tarantula.
What the
So
fuck did I just hear, dude?
I'm dead ass serious. So I look. I had to research this because I saw this with my own eyes and I was like, what the fuck?
That's
So
how you found out what this was? Or you're gonna be
I've
new.
heard of them before, but A, I didn't know they were around here. B, that's what this was. So I look, there is a wasp that's like, I don't know, an inch and a half long,
Where do
maybe.
you live, bro? I don't remember seeing
Texas, dude.
any tarantulas. I go to Tarantula Hill Brewing
Dr-
Company.
Crawling backwards, carrying a tarantula that's like paralyzed and just dragging this bitch across my yard to the point where it is locked in on getting this spider wherever it's going. Like, it obviously has a plan. It is on a mission. There is no doubt about it. It's not flying. This bitch can
So
obviously fly. And it's
they exclusively tarantula.
yes,
So that's the
yes.
name.
So
And
in
they
this
exclusively are born in a tarantula.
yes.
One at a time.
Something like that, yeah. Like, hold on, I'll pull it up. So listen to this, and on the that crazy dude, that coyote guy who's like, I'm gonna get bit by a fucking anaconda. He always is like letting weird bugs and shit sting him.
I thought
Tarantula.
anacondas were restrictors.
Yeah, I know. That was about okay. Bad example. I'm gonna get bit by this rattlesnake or whatever.
Did I
He
just some of them come for you in the comments?
he he uh he did a tarantula hawk, and on a scale of 1 to 5, it's a 4 on the pain scale. So it has one of the most painful stings.
I thought it paralyzed. I thought you just
It
get paralyzed.
paralyzes tarantulas. For humans, if you got stung by it, it's like it's one of the most painful stings you can get as a human. But they don't really attack humans. They leave us
Well,
alone.
at least you have like their food and also their wombs
A
being.
tarantula hawk is a large iridescent black and blue wasp, striking orange wings, famous for hunting tarantulas to feed their larvae. Females possess a fourth of an inch stinger, rated as one of the world's most painful. They're not typically aggressive to humans. Do they live in the U.S.? They live in California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Texas. So I watched this motherfucker dragging a tarantula across my front yard. Then at one point, it almost loses it. It's like carrying it and almost drops it off the edge because it carried it across my yard, up a stone wall, across the bed, then down the stone wall, and I lost it. I don't know where it went. It was fucked up.
Probably went to feed it to its larva.
Yeah, bro.
uh,
Nah, bro, that's fucked up. That's
don't
fucked
you
up.
think it's crazy that like there's just like all sorts of shit like that that like happens on this planet and like we're just on it. We're like most like day to day, like just kind of unimpressed with life. But then we're like waiting for aliens. It's like, what about like that?
There's aliens on this planet right
Yeah,
now.
what's an alien gonna be like that's crazier than fucking a wasp?
A bigger version of a tarantula hawk. Like, yeah, I guess that'd be crazy. How do we make it crazier? Just make it the size of like a domesticated animal. Can you imagine if ants were the size of cats? How horrifying the ants. Think about how small an ant. It'd be 100 times stronger than it is.
Yeah,
Than its own
we
weight.
would have already gone to war with them.
It would
One of us would be extinct by now.
yeah, it would just one bite would just like take your leg off. It'd be
Yeah, so as soon
terrifying.
as an ant realized like what was going on when they got that big, like they would start trying to flex, and we'd have to nip it in the bud real
Or
quick
they
before.
get nuked for sure.
Yeah,
It'd be like Starship Troopers type shit.
and it'd be easy because they all live in a fucking hell.
Yeah, we just have to like, you know,
Strap it with dynamite like it's 9/11.
well, it'd be like chemical warfare, or just like give them some like big
But you don't like to
oversized.
use pesticides. You don't like to use pesticides, so.
Not in this war. In this war, we're
Mm-mm.
pulling out a
Nah,
chemical
that's
warfare.
on pod. That's on pod.
Yeah, we're doing it. All right, got any
I
questions?
played some poker this weekend and I got beat at three different tables. Mind you, there's only three different tables. There are possibilities for the game that I play usually in this poker room. Three different Valeries, same day,
I just sent
or
you.
actually not same day. Two in one day, and then the next day the third Valerie. The second Valerie told me there was three Valeries. Next day I'm sitting down. This Russian girl sitting next to me. I'm telling her the story. She goes, "Oh, that's crazy because I'm the third Valerie." I was like, "That is fucking crazy." And she goes, "Actually, there's four Valeries." And then she points at this like Chinese woman across the table. She goes, she's also Valerie. And I'm like, that's fucking insane. An hour later goes by. She's like she left her seat for a while and she's like a regular, so they're just like letting it go by, even though we had like a fucking wait list. And she's just like the seat next to me is like nobody's playing. But she had her player's card there, and then I was telling the story to one of the dealers who just sat down, and he's like, her name's not Valerie. It's fuck, I don't know, some Russian name. Which I knew for a half second. And I'm like, ah, but that does mean though that I bet that Chinese lady was the third Valerie. So I still played with all three Valeries. But this Russian chick, right when I sat down, she tried to like she like bet like over bet pre-flop when it was just like her and me like trying to take the pot. It seemed like, and I called with like Queen Jack, caught a queen on the flop top pair. She pushes all in like super aggressively, and like I've read some poker books, some psychology books. Sometimes when some a player's action like physical actions are aggressive, it's because they're compensating for their hand not being good. I call. I'm correct. She has nothing. King high, and then and then she gets a belly buster straight on the river, and I lose all my money to the third Valerie who wasn't Valerie.
Damn.
Yeah, I was getting beat up. But like the first, like, so I just like played with the first Valerie, and then like, she took my money. I went and cried in the parking lot. Come up and sit down at the table next to it, and the lady I'm sitting next to, I 3 years ago played with her and her entire family at one table there on New Year's Eve, like through midnight. As me and this kid Louis were the only two people not her family. It was like the grandpa, the dad, the mom, the kids. And so I was like talking to her about that, and she had her player's card on the table, and it showed her name, and I was like, "Is that yours?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm Valerie," and I was like, "Oh," because I just met a Valerie who took all my money, and I was like, I thought she just came over here and just put her card down, like just like let me know what time it was, and she's like, "No, well, there's three of us," and then I just told you the story of the rest.
Hmm.
But yeah, did not succeed. Okay. Therapy question number one. Would you rather have a pet alligator that acts like a golden retriever or a horse that acts like a cat?
A horse that acts like a cat would be way too much. Um, I'd I'd rather have an alligator that acts like a golden retriever. It'd play fetch. It'd be goofy. It'd be sweet. Not really aggressive. Yeah, but people would think it was, so nobody would fuck with you because you'd be walking around with an alligator. But I mean, I don't need like some horse trying to scratch my furniture. Get at what? Get out of here, dude. Just be breaking.
Or just not listening to me in general, because like that's like all a horse is good for. It's like if it's listening
Yeah.
to you.
It's mad. It's gonna pee in my bed or something like that, or take a shit on the rug because it's mad at me. But it's a horse. That sounds terrible. That means I could potty train this fucking pet alligator. Give it a gator door. Like, there's a lot of cool things you can do with the dog that you can't do with the horse or a
Oh,
cat.
wait, what?
Cat. You
Yeah,
can't do it
yeah,
with
yeah.
a cat, but especially the size of a horse. It's just gonna be a
There's a lot
giant
of cool things you could do with a dog that you
that you
can't with
can't
a
do.
horse. You heard it right here.
That's true. That's true. But it goes both
That's
ways.
big fact. We never told no lies.
Yeah.
E-I-E-I-O. Old McDonald had a farm.
Shit. Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn Leghorn. I say. There's a lot of things. But it's true. So I'd much rather have an alligator that's a golden retriever. Teach it a lot of cool shit. This is my pet. This is my service gator. Get it trained because it could be able to do tasks. What if it was like a bomb sniffing gator?
Nah, dude. Fuck that. My dog ain't a
I'm just
snitch.
saying. Let's say if I went the snitch route, I could still take it with me. You
Mm.
could have a stitch ass alligator if you wanted.
And
There's
then
a lot.
you're gonna have stitches in that alligator because everybody knows the rule, Joseph.
They're like, oh, like my cat's on meds because it's crazy. Like my horse is on meds because it's crazy. That just sounds really
Yeah,
destructive.
it's called ketamine.
And cats get really aggressive and can be kind of dicks and scratch and claw at you and play. So playing with the if it was a horse, no, bro, get out of here, dude. I'd rather give a gator a belly scratch. Like, hey, what's up? Hell yeah,
But don't they go
good
to sleep?
boy.
Don't they go to sleep if they're on their back?
All right, good boy. Who's a
Right?
good boy? Who's a good gator? You're
So
like,
don't they
oh,
go comatose?
yeah,
So they
like
wouldn't even
so.
enjoy it.
Oh,
You couldn't even belly rub them. Like, don't belly rub me. No, no. Ah.
well, that's great. Perfect. Rather than be like,
Perfect.
hey, quit jumping on the furniture. Oh no, the horse is on the
Why?
counter again.
Okay. Why is the horse in the house just because it behaves like a cat? There are outdoor cats as
It's
well,
gonna
and the
try.
horses don't go in the house.
So what kind of gifts? So outdoor cats. Cats will bring you gifts. They'll go kill birds and all sorts of shit and put them on your doorstep. If you want a horse, roaming the neighborhood, killing small animals, bringing them to your
Nick, why does
doorstep.
that have to be animals? Well, it
City's
could
gonna
be.
shut that down
They
real
could be cool
fucking
gifts.
quick.
They could be cool gifts, dude.
That's 3 dogs this month, dude. 3 dogs this month.
But
Your
is
horse
it,
is
dude? Is that
yeah.
horse Haitian? Is it Haitian? I don't
It'd
know.
be climbing the fence. If it's outdoor cats, gonna want to try to get on my roof because it thinks it's a cat. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get out of here. There's nothing good that it's because cats are agile and they're assholes. And I love them. Cats are the shit. But yeah, no, that's just a terrible idea. That personality in something that's like 1,200 pounds,
And
all legs, 1,200 pounds, all legs.
and out of like all the other animals, one of the most like trained to do like certain things and listen to humans more so than most animals, I would say.
Yeah, it'd be
So
a
so you
wild
so yeah
horse.
yeah. So then like replacing it with the animal that is least likely to listen to a human sounds like a shit show. And then I think another again like just like the ants went extinct as soon as they became the size of like pets. I think the horses go extinct as soon as they start acting like cats because now
Yeah.
they're not. There's no use for them, and we're done here. Glue factory.
Yeah, straight to it.
Therapy question number two.
Elmer's.
Would you rather your soulmate hate your favorite music or your favorite food?
I'd say probably hate my favorite music because you
Are you
can,
fucking kidding?
yeah, because you could listen to music on your own time, and somebody doesn't have to appreciate your musical taste.
What if you want to go to concerts and
You
like, what are you talking
damn
about? You're
well.
driving in the car. Like, what do you mean?
But I want you to enjoy my favorite food. Hell yeah, let's eat.
I can enjoy the food myself. I don't give a fuck if
So
you like
so it
the food.
goes both ways then. Like I
No,
can just listen to my music with headphones.
music is a communal experience a lot of the time. Food can be a part of a communal experience. It's a thing.
I
It's
guess
at
I'd just
one.
rather be pretentious about my food choice than my musical choice. If
What's
that's
your favorite food?
favorite food, I don't know if I even really have one. Maybe anything spicy. Like favorite food item, maybe, bro, it might be French fries, bro. Fries go hard as fuck.
Okay, okay. So no. Let me hit you with the premise. Your special lady friend hates French fries. Does this affect your life at all?
No, not really.
Boom. But
Neither of them
now,
really
now,
do.
now she hates rap.
Not
Turn that
really.
shit off. Turn that shit off, Joseph.
Okay, I'll listen to I listen to other stuff besides rap. I don't know. Neither of them would really
Why would
bother
you
me that much.
rather
You could
her
not like
hate
my.
your
You could
favorite
not like.
music?
You could not like my favorite music and my favorite food, and if you were chill, you're chill. I mean, I wouldn't. It's not the end of the world.
Dude.
I think for me,
Dude, you're
I was
sounding a little
raised.
thirsty, is what I'm trying to say.
No, when I was raised by everybody in the household hating my taste in everything, so somebody being like, "Oh, turn that music off," that's bullshit.
Okay, but
Mm,
that's not the question. It's which one would you rather, and one is rather, one you should rather clearly more than the other. That's what the game is.
food
I
is
don't
a
care
communal
if you would cope
experience.
through it,
Food is a communal experience.
bro. If she's vegetarian, it doesn't, like, still.
Okay,
Like,
so
what is
that's
it?
like I hate beef, and like burgers are my favorite food. So that means we can never go get burgers. Now it's like, oh, because she doesn't eat burgers. That's just as bad as not being able to listen to rap
No, it's
music in the
not.
car, but I can listen to it by myself.
Okay, but you just put it in a straw man argument. You can still go get burgers even if she hates
Okay, you can
beef,
do either. And I'm just saying, I would rather
but you can't
listen to my own music,
you can't
listen to my
enjoy.
music on my own time. You can't convince me that how what I think is right for me is wrong. Sorry, man.
You just figured you want to go to a concert with your special lady friend or your favorite
I go
chef.
to a concert, vibe out, go with my homie who enjoys the music.
Oh, your side chick, huh?
No, like
That's why you don't care yet.
let's say it's like Wu Tang.
Yeah.
Let's say there's a Wu Tang concert and a girl I'm seeing doesn't want to go. I'm like, hey, you want to go, Andy? You'd be like, yeah, bro, let's go to the Wu Tang concert. Okay, cool, we'll go to the Wu Tang concert.
Want to hear something cool? I went to the Wu-Tang concert out here at the time it's called the Nokia Club. It's under the Staples Center,
Yeah,
and I met a girl, and I was talking to her. She was just in the like crowd. It's like a club venue, and I was like, "Who are you here with?" And she went to Wu Tang by herself because she had two tickets that her friend couldn't go, and she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna not go to Wu Tang." I thought I was like,
see,
"You just
that's
yeah."
brave. That's an adventure.
However, not preferred.
That's fair. You little
I went to the
bitch.
concert with Mike Wu Tang Wooten. Therapy question number 3. Would you rather discover ghosts are real or aliens are real?
Probably aliens. Because if aliens are real, then there's so much more to everything than we understand. So that means
Right,
maybe like how
but you and
we,
I have already determined that aliens are real without even just anybody having to tell us.
yeah, I mean, it's
So we've done the
mathematically
math.
almost
Right.
impossible. We haven't done the math. I mean, I don't think we have to. It's just like
No, yeah, no, we did the math, and
other people have done the math.
it was that easy to do the math. It was there's how many planets and how many stars and how many
Infinite,
galaxies.
infinite,
Right. Uh,
infinite.
last time yeah, yeah,
So infinite number of possibilities.
right.
And they're like, well, what about there's these many planets in the habitable zone. I'm like, that's in regards to life as we understand it. We don't really understand shit.
Okay, dude, it doesn't even matter how you slice the universe. It's that dude.
There's so many things like whatever they're like, oh, it's impossible for something to live on Venus. It's too hot. And then I'm like, okay, well, and then they'll be like, that's impossible. Just like there's nothing that, oh shit, there's all these weird creatures that live by these volcanic thermal vents at the bottom of the ocean that are like hundreds and thousands of degrees in temperature where nothing should be able to live. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, like we don't understand anything. Life can
Right.
adapt from it. Like that's so dumb.
We should
Um,
just stop claiming shit like that. Like, like
some people say that the guy who, some
it's like
people say that if
anything that you're saying that like can't or doesn't exist or can't exist, and that's only because of the absence of seeing it so far,
it's
and not because you've determined
that
that through
it's
some mathematical thing, then shut the fuck up.
it's not worked out well for a lot of people
No.
who are like, no, not possible, could never happen, will never happen.
Like think about this. Like to me, the multiverse, as soon as I heard it, got it. Agree. That sounds more likely. And but it's only recently like the scientists we know when whoever the science academy, you know, like eh, came to a consensus that could be, that's probably likely.
It's at the Hall of Science. That's where you know the some people are. It's where the ancient astronaut
Some
theorists.
people,
Some people say that the first person to live to be 200 years old, has already been born.
that's actually true.
That's what they say. So
I
they are.
actually said that about 150. What are
That's
you
the
trying to?
they. That's the they headquarters. Ancient astronaut theorists from Ancient Aliens. That's where they do all their research, is at the Hall of Science. That's where all of these people, come to these consensuses.
Probably funded by Jeffrey Epstein, like
And
fucking.
George Soros, obviously.
Well, no, actually, Jeffrey Epstein, like CRISPR was funded by him.
Yeah, he's doing all sorts of weird shit.
Yeah, but hmm.
He there's
So there's way more to this fucking story, and not like in a conspiracy like QAnon way. Like, and I'm like, what is going on in our world way, dude? Like this dude who like has got his hands in like every
when he was
like
trying to
somebody who, like
allegedly was having like all those like trying to have a bunch of kids and do all this weird shit. Like he's a Morton Joe on some fucking
well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking
shit.
about like
No, I'm just saying he
like
was doing all sorts of weird shit and was always rubbing elbows with scientists and funding weird stuff or funding things that were pretty forward facing where he was just money behind it.
was rubbing elbows what his attorney said he was rubbing or
Um but yeah, I'd rather find out that aliens are real and find out that aliens are real. That'd be a
I'd rather find out the
monumental
ghosts
thing.
are because then that would be actually news to me.
But see, but that would also be scary because then that means me becoming a ghost is possible. And what if I don't want to become a ghost? What are the criteria that makes you become a ghost? Do you get to decide if you're an evil ghost or a good ghost? I'd have too many questions. That would be you wouldn't know until it was too late. You're like, fuck, I'm a ghost.
Yeah, I didn't think about that part. Where then like
So it would be that there
ghosts
would be
exist now.
it would be like understanding a part of what happens next, but not understanding it all, but being like, that doesn't look fun.
I guess if you're asking me what would I rather exist as aliens or ghosts, but like what would I rather find
What
out
would you
or
rather
discover?
discover? Yeah, discover that is there. Because
Discover
then
to me it's like ghosts would be the bigger discovery.
aliens would be a much bigger discovery. If you
No,
discovered aliens, people would be like,
if we discover
holy shit.
no, we'd be like, okay, well, we're literally flying rockets into space trying to go to other planets as well, so this is something we're familiar with. However, what we're not doing is dying and remembering anything or knowing what the fuck happens. That's the one thing that the humans cannot, but yet have forever try to sell you that they know is what happens when you die.
But
I know the aliens
but a
exist.
lot of
You don't
those
know what
same
happens when you
people
die.
try to sell you that aliens don't exist as well. So if aliens are proven to exist and you discover that they exist, that completely throws world
Okay, well,
religions and a lot of things in like a tilt-a-whirl.
fuck them. I don't care. Like that's fine. They should already be like they're like Tesla stock. It should already
But
have
also,
been
like I
down.
said, is with discovering ghosts are real, you won't have all of the answers. You'll just have a piece of the puzzle, and that could be more terrifying.
Yeah, but then I could call my album Ghost Man, and then everywhere I go, I light it up like ghosts, and I'd be drinking ghost energies, and then I'd be like doing pottery with Patrick Swayze's Ghost,
Woo!
with Ghostface Killer following me, rapping in the background.
Get out of here. Um, yeah, I'd much rather discover that aliens are real.
I mean,
Both
it's
would
just
be
also.
crazy, but aliens
I
are real would be there'd still be some mystery
thought you were
to
going
it.
Ghost. I thought you were going Ghost because you love ghosts, and I could. I
Yeah,
don't.
I like ghosts and aliens.
I feel about ghosts how I feel about like trans people playing in sports. It's like I've got no opinion.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the right answer is, and I don't care.
Oh, makes sense.
Therapy question number 4. Final therapy question. Would you rather get free flights forever or free food forever?
See, I was thinking about this one. Both seem great. Um,
Let's just make sure that we get that out there.
Free
Like, yeah.
food forever though
In
would
case
probably be
Spirit the Airlines comes back and starts paying your boys for some free flights.
Free food forever, though, would probably have a longer term financial gain for you.
Obviously.
So probably just free food forever. And then if whenever you
I
did
mean, to be
travel, you would
honest,
eat
like
for
I
free.
mean, you could rack up some bills traveling, or like some airline bills, but not just like the.
If every year you still got all the money you spent on food, so that's groceries, out to eat, and
Okay, but
everything,
if I had free flights, I'd be flying all the time.
stop? Could you afford to take one vacation and fly somewhere and say yes? You could still travel. You could travel off of the money every
Not
year
like I'm
you
gonna
would save.
travel when I can fly for free.
Yeah, but you still have to make the time to fly for free, and you still have to pay for
Yeah,
food everywhere you went.
yeah, it's fine. Guess what? I can fly for free, dude. Like I'm gonna have a hustle. It's called Travel Guide. Catch me on the Tiki Talkie.
Yeah, but free food forever.
Everywhere. No,
Free.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not saying the flights are better, but what I'm trying to say is I was actually going to argue for food, but not because of the income part. It's like just think about you need food to live. You don't need a
Well, yeah, that's what
fucking
I'm saying. You take that essential off. One's a luxury, one's an essential.
right.
One takes a lot of money. Both take a lot of money. One of them is you're going to always have to spend that money. So getting that off of that's like saying you're going to get a house and you never have a mortgage payment and you don't have to pay
Right.
property taxes. You'd be like,
Or
"Oh, give me the
or
house."
yeah, or what? What
Yeah,
would be the
or you can rent this really badass penthouse for $500 a month. Like both are great, but give me the house with no bills ever. Okay, I'd take that over because I'm going to save more money than I'm going to be. Yeah, it's not worth it because you're still going to have to spend money on everything else. You just get the
Oh,
flight
I
for
see what you're
free
saying. So like you're like putting up the money for the house, but then it's done with, as opposed to like the drip of the 500 rent.
a month because at some point the 500 a month is still it's a great deal, awesome, but it's still going to cost you money. As with the other ones, like yeah, you just get this essential for free. Here you go. Because you don't need the penthouse. You don't need to do that. And whenever you do travel that much, it's going to cost you more
No, I
money.
need the penthouse for sure.
Of course you do. See?
You
You
know
would.
what I'm
So free
saying?
flights, obviously. Give me that grub. What?
Can we break real quick?
Yeah, if you need to.
5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Fuck boy. Just like, oh, what did I say earlier? You're just like, you're in Mr. Robot. And then you stood up and I was like, oh, he's wearing his fuckboy shorts. So then you took your
I
headphones
almost
off.
didn't wear these because of that comment, and
And you tried to hide them. And then you had to get up.
I didn't try to hide them. I just forgot I was wearing them.
Don't let him see. He's going to call me out.
They're just like some fucking lounge shorts.
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, we'll be back in a second.
Recording stopped.
Um, and we're back for the articles.
First article from the AP. Woman dies falling into an uncovered maintenance hole in New York City. Nightmare. A 56-year-old woman fell into an open maintenance hole on a busy New York street and died. Police and utility officials said as they investigated how it could have happened. A woman Donkey, Donkey, Go, Gocha. So
Damn,
Don.
bro. Damn,
It's
as your attorney, I advise you to stop.
Donique. Don Key. Donike. Donique. Donique. Parked her Mercedes Benz
Damn.
SUV right next to the
That was the
maintenance hole.
brother on the podcast.
Parks her Mercedes Benz SUV right next to a maintenance hole Monday night near the corner of 5th Avenue and East 52nd in Midtown Manhattan. And she fell after exiting the vehicle shortly before 11:30 p.m. She was pronounced dead at a local hospital after firefighters pulled her out. That is crazy, bro. So she stepped out of her car and fell into a manhole. She basically parked right next to a manhole, stepped out her car door. That's insane. That's wild. That is nightmare fuel. The utility company Con Edison said surveillance camera footage appeared to show that the whole cover was dislodged by a multi-axe truck that drove over it about 12 minutes before the woman fell in. So a multi-axle truck drove over it and it dislodged the lid. So when she stepped on it, it's not like it was left open.
That's a likely story.
They got footage apparently. That's
A truck
wild.
can move a manhole cover.
Yeah, I guess depending on how the tires hit it, I'm not sure. We're reviewing the details, and while this is a rare occurrence, manhole covers can get displaced by heavy vehicles. Our thoughts remain with her family, and safety remains our top priority, a spokesperson said in a statement. The accident happened in an upscale shopping area that includes a Cartier store and is about 4 blocks from Trump Tower. She lived in Bryancliff Manor, a suburb of New York City, police said. Carlton Wood of the New York Post told the Carlton Wood told the New York Post he saw the woman fall into the hole after she walked a couple steps away from her vehicle. Okay. He said he ran over and called 911. He estimated she fell about 10 to 15 feet. She was just in the hole screaming that she was dying over and over. Damn, that's really hardcore.
You put
Side
this in
said,
here, dude.
yeah, I know. I just didn't see that part. That's a heavy duty quote. Wood said the site was not blocked off and there were no signs for work or that the cover was near the hole where it appeared to be very hot inside. Damn. That's the nightmare fuel, man. I've always been afraid of like falling in one of those. You see that in cartoons and old goofy stuff. People fall in those. That'd be scary, dude.
You've been afraid of that?
Hell yeah, falling in like stepping on a manhole cover and falling. You don't know where it's going, how deep it is. Yeah, fuck that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like the Super Mario that I
And I've
played.
never really heard of that happening. And I mean, I guess I have before, but I heard of it now, and it sounds awful. So no, thank you.
Never even crosses my mind. The caucasity, dude. The caucasity of hope.
Yeah, must
Mm.
be nice. Racist. Article number 2. Trump endorses Ken Paxton over incumbent John Cornyn in Texas Senate primary runoff. President Trump has endorsed Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton over incumbent John Cornyn in the Texas GOP runoff for U.S. Senate, 1 week before voting ends in a contentious and expensive primary. Ken Paxton has gone through a lot, in many cases very unfairly, but he is a fighter, and he knows how to win. Trump wrote in part on social media, our country needs fighters and also loyalty to the cause of greatness. Trump's last minute move to back Paxton is an effort to essentially end the race after weeks of a bruising fight in a state Democrats see as a potential stretch pickup opportunity in November. Cornyn campaign continues. A day earlier, Cornyn said he didn't expect Trump to weigh in on the race. I think that ship has probably sailed, he told reporters after he voted at a polling site in South Austin Monday, the first full day of the state's early election voting for runoffs in the primaries. At the time, Cornyn said he would love for Trump to campaign on his behalf, but believed the president did not want to alienate certain voters by picking sides. We're not slowing down, Cornyn said, midst of a packed campaign schedule Monday. On Tuesday, Cornyn said that they were sticking to the plan, including a long list of stops in several major metro areas in the coming days. Thoughts on this? I mean, Paxton, like I said, is one of the most corrupt Texas politicians of all time. Top 15.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, come on.
Oh, I mean, I think he would be like number one anywhere besides Texas.
Probably he would be higher in the rankings. It's like saying like, oh, Ron Harper was really good. Yeah, Ron Harper was a great basketball player and would be considered one of the best players at any other franchise, but he unfortunately played and won a lot of championships with the Bulls. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, I think you need to move Ken Paxton way the fuck up. I mean,
But I like to think like
name
like
three
Rick Rick
people worse than
Rick
him.
Perry was pretty corrupt. I mean, Texas has got a
Worse than this guy? Are you fucking kidding? Rick Perry like was like presentable to America.
yeah. No, yeah, he's I mean, yeah.
This guy's like a troll,
With a
actually.
with like yeah, he even has like a wonky troll eye.
Yeah.
Trump likes to back winners, so I think he waited for the race to materialize. Paxton has been among the most aggressive legal and political defenders of the president. So having the capacity to have something like that in office has value to him. Of course it does. Cornyn and Paxton and represent Wesley Hunt. So if Wesley Hunt would have backed out, Cornyn probably would have won, but Wesley Hunt lost when they did the redistricting of Texas. He gave up his seat. He lost his spot in the redistricting.
Yeah, like it's not like he gave it up.
He's a
Yeah,
black
like
guy. He's a black guy in Texas who won a seat. Who, whenever they redistricted, he lost his district.
right. But my point is not like it was his choice.
No, true, but he was all like, "Oh yeah, let's redistrict." He was like fine with it.
Okay, well,
Um, so
have you seen
Wesley
a
Hunt,
cuck chair?
they all vied for his endorsement ahead of the March 3rd primary, but the president decided to decline to pick one. But see, Wesley Hunt was very anti-Cornyn, so he's like, if I don't win, then you need to go out and vote for Ken Paxton. So he was a huge Paxton supporter. So that's where that difference between those two, because Cornyn had more votes, but if you took Wesley Hunt and combined Paxton, Paxton would have won the primary.
You know who else is a Paxton support like huge fan? Joseph, but Bill Paxton, the
Yeah,
late great actor.
it's true. Not related.
How do you know?
Because there's no way you can't do that. And if they are, I think that Ken Paxton killed Bill Paxton. So if they are related, then
You you're starting that rumor.
we're not looking into that deep enough.
Well, it's because he's your attorney general.
Yeah, he's shutting it down.
He's your Pam Bondi, bro,
Yeah, but he's worse than Pam
and he's
Bondi.
probably fucked more dudes.
Jesus Christ. Paxton argued that Cornyn is not in touch with MAGA's base and the direction of the Republican Party. Cornyn highlighted a series of scandals that have plagued Paxton, including his wife filing for divorce on biblical grounds, a felony indictment for securities fraud that was later settled, and an impeachment vote in 2023 where he was later acquitted. Which was like using money to pay for like Ubers for like
Right. And he
all
was
sorts.
not found not guilty. It was just that 2/3 of the Republican supermajority state Senate did not vote to convict him. However,
He was
half,
actively calling people during that vote, telling them to not
right.
vote.
But however, at least half, I think it was way more, but at least 50% of the Texas state House of Representatives with the Republican supermajority voted to impeach him. That was like, so when people are like, oh, you got acquitted, it's like, yeah, dude, but all the Republicans voted to like, they're like, okay, we're not gonna like it's the like impeaching somebody is like become more of like it's like we'll never impeaching someone a president at least, you know, like unless they're like, I mean, I can imagine, but like because Trump, you know, but like It's just because the party, because the way it is, you have to get 2/3 of the Senate,
It'd have to be
to,
something egregious for it to actually
well,
happen.
I don't know, like an attack on the motherfucking
No, I
Capitol.
know, but it'd have to be like you murdered somebody, something like that at this point.
Yeah, and then fucked your own party over or something, so they turn on you too.
Yeah. Um, as I said on primary night, it doesn't matter who wins the runoff. We already know who we're running against: the billionaire mega donors and the corrupt political system. Tellerico said Tuesday in response to Trump's endorsement of Paxton. Our movement to take back Texas for working people rises above political parties because it's the biggest fight in the country and it's not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. There's a lot of people that are pissed off that Trump endorsed Ken Paxton too. There's a lot of like outside, like just in the GOP in general. There's a lot of people that do not like him because he's a scumbag and brings a lot of baggage with him. Um,
Sounds familiar.
what is it? What? Farrell, an independent voter in Meadow, Texas, a town outside of Lubbock, is one of those voters. He said Ken Paxton, he's not somebody I believe in his character. I do not, said Farrell, who's 70. So Cornyn is my guy. My dad voted for Cornyn actually. He's not terrible like back in the day. He's like Ken Paxton's a piece of shit. So if I had to pick somebody to vote for it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Cornyn's just like lame, but Ken Paxton's a piece of shit on a different level. When somebody can run ads about you paying for hookers with Uber money, Ubers for hookers, and your wife is leaving you on biblical grounds, that's brutal, bro.
It's whatever.
In
But
quotes, no, dude, that's the
dude, I
nicest
mean,
way to
it's
be like
the
you out here hoeing.
dude, whatever, dude. The Bible's not even real. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
I know it's not even real, but you
For,
still got divorced on biblical grounds.
okay, but that's okay. But that's just
That's
something that
serious.
his crazy wife said. And think about crazy this bitch is. She married Ken Paxton,
Damn. If
and bitches
Cornyn
be crazy,
advances to the general election, Farrell said she plans to stick with him. But if Paxton wins out, she said she would vote for the Democratic candidate, James Tellerico. It's a feeding trough in Washington. Each state shows up like the cows, so they get their part of federal dollars. If we send Tellerico, he's a new cow. He'll be at the back of the line, whereas Cornyn is a senior cow. He'll be at the front of the line. Jesus. Paxton does not have moral values in my mind. That's an awesome quote. Um, yeah, I mean, I do think if Paxton does end up winning, it makes it easier for Tellerico to win, and that is a big race. Tellerico's a big up and comer. Like I said, I think he's a better, more polished, religious version of a Beto. So I do think that like he fits a certain mold that while he might be a Democratic candidate, I do think he's something that a lot of independents and people that are religious and don't like Paxton would vote for sure.
yeah.
Because I've had people tell me, "Oh, who are you gonna vote for, Cornyn or Paxton?" Like them arguing about stuff and saying like, "Oh, Tellerico's crazy." I remember arguing with these two guys specifically, and I was like, no, those two guys are scumbags. I think I talked about it on like the podcast. Where I was like, no, like they're gross, and they were talking about how Tellerico's crazy and he sucks. And then I saw them recently, maybe like a week ago, and they're always like having some rambles about it. And one of them was like, nah, man, like I think we're kind of fucked. These two guys are just too scummy. But what's going on in Texas is like we're gonna see more of this where it's like two really bad GOP candidates versus like a very likable by the left and then independents or moderate rights candidate where they could lose some of these states, man, lose some of these seats, lose some of these positions because the candidates they're putting up to get some of these gigs, you have to be so corrupt at that point just to get the job offer, you know?
Right, because you're taking out a shitty Republican in the primary with the shittier one.
Yeah, exactly. Like a
It's like
shittier
it's
candidate.
going harder right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, it's like they're trying to like out Nazi each other or whatever the newest fascist movement is. That's why we should go to the like ranked choice ballot, what ranked choice for voting, where it's like um, you vote for like your first, your second, and then there's like no party, like no party primaries.
So like the Heisman.
Yeah, ranked choice. Yeah, so it's like, well, it's like I want Bernie, but you know, if maybe if he doesn't win, then you know, it'd be like in that situation, like I want Wesley Hunt, but if he doesn't win, then I want John Cornyn or whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah, but definitely not Ken Paxton. So you put him three, but even though you know, okay, in this situation, you'd be like, but I want Ken Paxton, definitely not John Cornyn. Um, no, you know, whatever. Whoever's gonna win, because because they're gonna get the third guy's votes. And you would rather that not happen, so you put the other guy at second, then that counts, you know, for certain things, and then it's like mathematically done.
Hmm.
And that way you don't have the craziest people who are, you know, out trying to out crazy each other in the primary.
Well, and
And
Cornyn's
then
not really like being super crazy. He's just calling it like he sees it. Like this guy's corrupt
no,
and
but
gross.
okay, but this is going to be the dynamic. It's going to be there's very few establishment Republicans left, but you know, it's going to be the more seemingly more moderate Republican being challenged by somebody further to the right, and then they're going to act further to the right to show their bona fides that they're not a rhino, and then they're going to get in the general election and try to walk it back, and then Trump will make it hard for them to do that, and nobody will care, and they'll still vote for these fucking idiot Republicans.
Yeah, we'll see. I do think if Ken Paxton wins, it increases the Democrats' chances of winning.
Talk about it. That's like Walt Disney waking up in 2026.
Because
Like
there's a
he's not
lot
gonna.
of things that he's done that are public knowledge. There's a lot of people that are extremely religious. Like this lady said, is like, I would vote for the Democratic candidate if he wins because he has no morals. It literally just says, I don't think Ken Paxton has any morals. Period. Her statements are, and that's a 70-year-old woman in the middle
I
in
know,
like
but
bumfuck Texas.
that's just the fact.
Well, yeah, but I do think people would have a hard time voting for that. A harder time than on a national stage, especially.
Not enough people to not have him win the primary though. That's crazy.
Well, he didn't win the primary. It just was
Well,
Wesley Hunt stole a chunk of the vote. So it was like close. He didn't like
no, but
Cornyn
I'm
didn't
saying
win by a.
if they're going to be voting for him in this hypothetical, then he would have won the primary.
Well, yeah, I think that there's a lot of. Well, I'm talking about whenever it's like in the actual like election.
Right, but
I think
that's
that
what I'm saying. So in order to get to the election, he has to win the fucking primary. So
yeah, it
I'm
was
assuming he
close
won.
enough to have a runoff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the in a week that primary.
Yeah, no, for sure. If he wins that, but yeah, I just wonder how many people aren't even voting in the primary. There's got to be some.
Oh, what do you mean? Of course. I think it's like historically like 30%, like in general, versus like 70% in the general. At least in the, yeah, I think it was 70% because I think I just heard that it was either 30 million or 30% of the people that could have voted stayed home. I forget which one though.
Hmm.
30 million would be like, I don't know.
So we'll see. That's like, and this is one of the bigger races like in the country that everybody's keeping an eye on. Because Thomas Massey lost his election, so he's
Primary.
yeah his primary, so he's out to Ed Gallerin,
Trump endorsed.
Trump endorsed. But I mean, Massey's been leading one of the leaders of the pack for the Epstein files release and a bunch of other stuff. He's been very much bucking the system lately, so not shocking that Trump didn't endorse him. It's crazy that his
No,
endorsement.
no. He not only did he not endorse him, he recruited this guy to run against him
Yeah.
so that he would, yeah.
Did you see his post comments or his like his delayed his speech? He was like, "Oh, I tried to reach my candidate, but I had a hard time reaching him. I have to find the quote. It's something crazy. But I mean, he's been trolling for a while, so he's gonna be out. What, November? He's gonna be out now.
No, January 1st.
Oh, okay, January. So he's the
I
list
think they
at the
do
rest
it.
of this
I
year.
think I don't know why I think this, but I think it's right. But I've never actually looked it up. But just from what I deduced during the January 6th shit, uh, I think Congress gets sworn in, the new Congress, because it's every 2 years. Uh, the entire House of Representatives, goes up for election. I think they get sworn in on January 1st, and so then it's the new Congress that is certifying the election on January 6th for the president, who's then going to be inaugurated on the 20th. But that's only, every 4 years. However, yeah, but there's why because I think it's like super important in 2028 that we win the House, so that we have the Speaker of the House as a Democrat to certify the results of whatever the election is. Republican or Democrat, just do it correctly because Republicans won't
Yeah. Yeah.
unless they win.
Article number 3. Trump slush fund deal with some newly disclosed fine print about its tax return. In broad strokes, the deal between Donald Trump and his own administration appears corrupt but straightforward. The president withdrew his deeply foolish $10 billion civil lawsuit against the IRS. In exchange, he and his team will put 1.776 billion in a tax of taxpayer money into a fund that is expected to benefit the Republican allies. These basic contours of the agreement, widely panned as a slush fund by Democrats and legal experts, were evident not only in public reporting from independent news organizations, but in the 9-page agreement that Trump's Justice Department released on Monday, offering details about the structure of the scandalous deal. Um, I can read more about this, but we can just talk about it. In addition, the fund worth nearly 1.8 billion. Trump can also take comfort in knowing that, according to his DOJ, the IRS won't pursue any pending tax claims against him, members of his family, or highly controversial family businesses. That's huge. What are your thoughts on this?
It's insane, dude. It's like J6ers, January, people went to January 6th, speaking of, can, you know, are going to get money for damages for them beating up cops at the Capitol. Todd Blanche is like,
Potentially.
watch.
I think he might give them some, not as much as people think. I think he's gonna give a
Why
shit
the
to.
fuck are they getting any money?
I know it's gonna go to like Rudy Giuliani. He's gonna
He's
give.
dead.
Oh, sorry, not Rudy.
He's not actually dead. He's just in the hospital.
What's his like? Some of these. Sidney Powell will get some. He's gonna be passing out like tens of millions to people, bro.
Todd Blanche is like, every American can apply to get money from this fund. It's like, okay, you know, who's in charge? Who's saying yes or no? What's that process look like? The fuck
Yeah,
are you guys
this is one of
talking
the
about?
most like corrupt things ever.
It's
This
crazy.
is
Whose
like
idea was this?
his
Like, who
own
came up with
DOJ.
this?
This
I
is
know,
this
but
this is what Blanche was really in there for. It's like the Epps to cover up the Epstein shit. Get this. Now he feels like he's how much is he going to give himself out of that?
don't worry about it.
Most of it.
Hit.
There's no words for it. It's
I know.
crazy.
And again, there's like, we all grew up and found out nobody's actually in charge and nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, and like, so nobody's gonna stop this. You know.
Yeah. Sure though, everybody's just like full of shit.
Exactly.
They were all full of shit the whole time.
Fucking Wizard of Oz. We were in the movie the whole time, bro.
Mm-hmm. Craziest shit ever.
Straight
1.8 billion of
capping.
taxpayer money.
I know, dude. I remember when $1 billion was like it's like yeah, we have it, but like that's a lot of money, and now like that is like the starting point for like anything, you
Yeah.
know. So I gotta get my bill. The first you have to give me the obviously my starter billion, for whatever like project it is. It's like we had it's like what did Solyndra cost? I would pull that shit up, like the failed green energy company that they try to like pin on Barack Obama as if like it was, and it ended up like coming back and like making money and all the money back that they invested in it, by the way. But that was like his death nail.
Yeah,
The
it's just wild
five
that
hundred $35 million for that we invested in Solyndra, and by the way, again, repaid the money. But they said it failed. Barack Obama, blah blah blah. It's a huge deal. $500 million. This dude's just like, I'm gonna take $1.7 billion. That's right. And me and my friends are just gonna decide,
pass it out to my homies.
but only after we all make a dog and pony show production
And you
of
can't look into anything that we do.
yeah, how we were like mistreated, and we get to put our grievances on TV, and they get paid for them from the taxpayers because we love America.
Man, I mean, because
Biggest little bitch ever, dude. You have
some
to
of
set up
like
those
the like
slush funds because
I want some
your
of that
feelings were
just to
hurt.
not hold. Like I want it to be where it's like 5 years from now, it's like no, this agreement's bullshit, and they just start locking these motherfuckers up. It's not even
That's
gonna happen, but man,
it has to happen. Like there needs to be accountability, with the next administration. Otherwise, we're just saying
it's
like,
like
okay,
yeah, whatever the
that's just
next,
what the country is now.
it's just
It's
gonna
like
fall apart.
you
Yeah.
you can't let Trump being like, oh, they're politically prosecuting me, like that excuse to get you to be like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm politically prosecuting him. It's like, no, dude, if you're committing crimes, you're gonna get prosecuted. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and if that does happen, I mean, that would definitely be the start of a civil war, honestly. People are going to crash out.
Well, it's gonna be a civil war if you don't do it. So let's stick to the rules and the laws of the land, and then if it leads to it, then that's fine.
Yeah. I honestly don't want to read more about it because it pisses me off. Trump says White House ballroom will be a shield as he shows off construction site. President Donald Trump, over the noise of drills and hammers, showed off the construction site for his controversial White House ballroom in a tour with reporters Tuesday. Trump described the massive project, which started with the demolition of the White House East Wing, as a fortress for himself and future presidents. This is a shield that protects everything that's inside, everything that's on top, Trump said. He said it would be the safest building ever built, in my opinion. With poster board mock ups in hand of what the finished product will look like, Trump spoke above a hollowed construction site. The underground complex, Trump said, will be at least 6 stories deep and include a hospital, research facilities, and meeting rooms. I mean, this is where he's just gonna
What the?
ru- this is where he's gonna ride out not leaving office.
That's what it sounds like. Like, what is like? Is that the Dick Cheney bunker that they went down and hid in on 9/11, dude? Like, also, at what point, like, dude, I love America, and whatever. Even Trump, it's like whatever, like the president kind of needs. Like, we're like sending Vance out to Pakistan for negotiations. Probably costs like $100 million every time just because like security. We don't ever question it. Could we start questioning or like we're just like, yeah, the White House should have a research facility and a hospital under it, and we're just all like, that makes sense to us.
Yeah, I said. I mean, this is where is the thing where it
It's
says
like, at what point it's like why does it have to be
impenetrable
like
steel and window glass that is approximately 4 inches thick were some of the features. The roof, he said, will have a massive drone capacity and will act as a drone port, so it will protect all of Washington. So there's going to be drones flying out of the top of this fucking thing.
it's like a fucking yeah, what? Tight. So the White House is just now got like a drone port. we sold the rights to the White House to a fucking not even an airport, a drone port.
Trump on Tuesday appeared to argue that the entire building was interconnected. The roof goes to the ground floor goes to the roof goes down into the basement. Everything is connected, intertwined, elevators, heating, air conditioning. It's one building. That's why we're trying to explain. That's why we're trying to explain that this is a one of a kind. This is one well knit building. So all of this was
I
paid
thought he was
for
the president. What is he
by
doing?
myself, and because I keep hearing, you know what's going to happen is he's going to use this slush fund to pay back these private donors who are donating to his ballroom. He's going to take the money from that and he's going to give it to those guys who have given him money. He's going to pay him back.
Get it? I mean, the motherfucking Ponzi scheme is in full effect here, dude. Like that's this is how bad Trump is at money. Where like think about how much money he's made, like with like that we know about just in like last year, right? Like 3 billion, $4 billion. This dude it was like he's like in debt to like Deutsche Bank 300 million. I remember when that was a lot of money. Like he owes E. Jean Carroll like 180 million dollars, right? Like and the debt that he probably has like everywhere else, like where banks just stop working with him.
Yeah.
That like he's making billions of dollars a year now, and he still needs to find grifts to pay, the bookie. It's crazy. He's got to come up with a slush fund from the fucking IRS or whatever it was, like to for Republican political grievances.
And who's the head of the DOJ is who?
Todd Blanche is the acting attorney general, and he used to be his criminal defense lawyer, and he was the one who represented him at the second impeachment, and he's a clown show.
Okay, there you go. That's just wanted to try to slow walk it into that second part. But yeah, so his own personal criminal defense attorney is now the one making the deal.
Never been a prosecutor. Yeah.
Is now cutting him the deal. That's crazy. That's
While he's on his trial run to see if he can get the permanent job. So he's got to.
see, and I just don't see how history's gonna look so poorly upon
No
everything that's
shit.
going on right now, just like so badly.
Dude, if history survives to look at it,
You don't think it does? I think we do.
I know, but I'm just making a
You
point
gotta
of
be positive,
how,
man.
dude,
You gotta be positive, bro.
I was making a statement in order to convey the direness of the situation.
A bunker with a drone port. He's just building himself like I said, a hideout base. This is a
Late
gift
stage
to the
capitalism,
United.
dude. Bunkers and drum ports.
This is a gift to the United States of America. More than a gift, it's going to be one of the most beautiful buildings that's ever been built in the country or in Washington D.C. Trump said. Of course, well, in the country, yeah. If it's one of the nicest built in the country, it would be one of the nicest, if not the
What
nicest
are
in
the
the
odds on
DC.
Kalshi that it never gets built?
I don't know. I think it gets built. I think if
I'm
there's
not
one
saying.
thing he has to, because it's a
I'm
huge
saying that there is a scenario where it doesn't.
true.
It takes too long, and then you know, President
So many in-network
Mrs.
doctors on
Blackenstein,
ZocDoc.
Michelle Obama walks in there and just
Mom!
no, we're done here.
Yeah, just cover it up, fill it in.
I got a garden to put back.
Well, that's all I got for articles, sir. What do you got?
Meditate, bitches.
Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, share, tweet, Flickr, gram it, repost it, boof it, butt plug it, whatever. We just appreciate you guys listening and hanging out with us. Yeah. I got nothing, man. Y'all be good. Stay out of trouble. Stay black. Go fuck yourselves.
Got it.
Record.